Imagine two guys living and working in the exact same small American town for nearly 40 years. One of them was pulling in a massive salary, making more money in a single year than the other guy made in an entire decade. If I asked you to guess which one retired filthy rich, you'd probably pick the high roller, right? Everyone would. And you'd be completely wrong. What's crazy is that neither of these guys set out to mess up. They both worked hard. They both wanted financial freedom. They both honestly thought they were doing the right thing. Yet by the time they called it quits, their bank accounts looked like they belonged in completely different universes. One achieved the kind of financial freedom most people only dream about, while the other ended up facing a reality he never saw coming. How does that happen? How do two people spend a lifetime chasing the same goal and end up in totally different places? The answer is so surprising that even after hearing this story, most people still struggle to believe it. Because if you had met these two men back then, you would have made the exact same mistake everyone else did. Let's start with Richard. Richard was a successful corporate executive. He had a master's degree, a big career, big ambitions, and a very big income. He did everything society tells you to do to succeed. Study hard, earn the credentials, climb the ladder, make more money. And for a long time, it looked like he had cracked the code. Then there was Ronald Read, a World War II veteran from Vermont. For 25 years, Ronald worked at a local gas station. After that, he spent another 17 years working part-time as a janitor at JCPenney. Most people barely noticed him. If Richard walked into a room, people noticed immediately. If Ronald walked by, most people wouldn't look twice. Naturally, everyone assumed Richard would retire rich. Ronald looked almost poor. He drove an old Toyota Yaris. He wore a faded jacket held together with safety pins. Some people actually felt sorry for him. If you stopped the story right here and asked people to place a bet, almost everyone would choose Richard. Honestly, you'd probably choose Richard too. After all, Richard had everything going for him. The education, the career, the income, the status. Ronald had a broom. And yet, the gap between these two men was already growing larger every single year. Nobody could see it. Not yet. As the years rolled on, Richard's income kept climbing. Every promotion meant a bigger paycheck. Every good year brought larger bonuses. Richard wasn't reckless. That's what makes this story so important. He wasn't buying private jets. He wasn't gambling away his future. He was doing what most responsible people do. A slightly nicer house, a slightly nicer car, better schools, better vacations. One upgrade at a time. Each decision felt reasonable. Each decision felt earned. But taken together, they quietly transformed a high income into a permanent obligation. Meanwhile, Ronald's life seemed incredibly boring. And maybe that's why nobody paid attention. There was no exciting promotion, no luxury car, no dream home, just the same routine over and over again. Every payday, he invested. For years, Ronald's strategy looked almost ridiculous. He invested, waited, invested again, waited. Year after year, nothing exciting happened. No overnight success. No life-changing breakthrough. Even as Ronald kept investing, there was no sign he was becoming wealthy. No mansion, no luxury cars, no expensive hobbies. In fact, if you met him during those years, you probably would have assumed he was struggling financially. And that's exactly why nobody noticed what was happening. By the time Ronald crossed his first $100,000 invested, almost nobody knew. Not his neighbors, not his coworkers, not even most of his friends. The man many people pitied was already wealthier than they realized. Then something changed. The money he invested years earlier started producing more money. That money bought more shares. Those shares produced even more income. Slowly, almost invisibly, the machine began accelerating. Eventually, Ronald's investments were earning more money than Ronald was. His money was officially working harder than he ever could. Richard's situation looked impressive from the outside, but there was a problem. The lifestyle that made him look successful required him to keep succeeding. Every month, every year, without interruption. The house needed income. The cars needed income. The vacations needed income. The entire system depended on the next paycheck arriving, right on schedule, which meant Richard was far more fragile than anyone realized, including Richard himself. But neither man had reached the most important test yet, because sooner or later, every financial plan collides with reality. Then came the 2008 financial crisis. Richard's debt-heavy world collapsed. Years of income disappeared almost overnight. The executive who looked rich suddenly found himself facing bankruptcy. Meanwhile, Ronald kept doing what he'd always done: working, saving, investing, ignoring the noise. Then came 2014. Ronald Read passed away at the age of 92. The janitor, the gas station attendant, the man many people thought needed financial help. Lawyers began reviewing his estate. Nobody expected a surprise. Then the numbers started appearing. $100,000, $500,000, $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. The total kept climbing. The lawyers kept counting, and counting, and counting, until finally, they reached a number nobody thought was possible. More than $8 million. People couldn't believe it. He didn't win the lottery. He didn't inherit a fortune. He simply bought solid companies, held them for decades, and allowed time to do the heavy lifting. In his will, he left millions to his local hospital and library, the largest donations either institution had ever received. And that's the part most people get wrong. We spend our lives chasing income. Ronald spent his life building ownership. While one man focused on earning more, the other focused on keeping more. Over decades, that tiny difference changed everything. The truth is, Ronald didn't become wealthy because he earned more. He became wealthy because he needed less. That's why wealth and income are not the same game. One is measured by what comes in. The other is measured by what stays. Real wealth is usually invisible. It's not the flashy car. It's not the giant house. It's not the appearance of success. It's freedom. While one man spent his life trying to look wealthy, the other spent his life actually becoming wealthy. In the end, Ronald Read left behind a lesson every one of us should remember. It's not about how much money passes through your hands. It's about how much you choose to keep.